Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're taking a look at the IWC Pilot's Watch Automatic Spitfire. And I want to remind you that we're here at Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, who have lent us this piece for the purposes of this review. They're an authorized retailer of IWC and many other premium brands, and this watch has a retail price of $4,900. Before I start this review, I also want to remind you that I currently have a Kickstarter campaign which will end on October 14th in the morning at 10 o'clock for a watch that I personally designed. This watch has a mechanical quartz hybrid movement, so you get the accuracy of a quartz movement but the feel and functionality of a mechanical chronograph. What I mean by that is when you start the chronograph with the top pusher, it has a nice smooth seconds hand, but then when you reset the chronograph, the seconds hand just kind of flies back right to the 12 o'clock position. Now, a typical quartz chronograph obviously would slowly tick back to the position, but I really wanted to include that mechanical functionality in this piece. Additionally, you have a tachymeter scale on the dial for speed calculations, as well as a time zone scale on the case back and a unit conversion scale on the case back. I wanted to make this watch as functional as possible, and I just wanted to include all these features for an affordable price of $149. Now, that is the Kickstarter price. If you end up purchasing this watch on Amazon after the Kickstarter campaign succeeds, you're going to have to pay $249. So it is to your benefit to purchase this watch as soon as possible. It is a very quality deal, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now let's start the rest of this review. So this is the IWC Pilot's Watch Automatic Spitfire. Now this watch is very special in that it has a IWC proprietary movement in it that gets a power reserve of around 70 hours, which is well above my 48-hour kind of limit that I like to see in pieces. Now it's automatic as well. You are basically never going to run out of power in this watch, at least, wind, I should say. As long as you wear it every 3 days. So it's an absolutely incredible piece, especially in this size. It's got a 39 millimeter case, but I would say it wears much more like a 36. You'll see that in the wrist shot. But the form factor of this piece, it's extremely thin. You could wear it with a suit, although given the colors, I don't really think you would wear this with a suit. It's more of a sporty kind of aviation watch, but I really do think that movement is very impressive. Now getting onto the dial, you have this beautiful red, slight green, and then gold hand kind of color combination. I think it looks fantastic. I think it really looks like a, again, vintage watch. One thing I would change about the dial, I don't really like the faux aged lume. I don't like that on any watch, just because I think that if you're going to make a watch that's supposed to look old, just keep the old style. It should just look as if it just came out of the factory whenever it was supposed to be made. Now this watch isn't obviously supposed to look exactly like any of IWC's past models. It's kind of its own thing, but again, it's supposed to look old, and I really don't think that that's appropriate to do faux aged lume on really anything. Additionally, the bronze case on this piece is a very unique thing about the watch. There's a very select number of watches from high-end brands like IWC that have bronze cases. Additionally, you get a bronze pin buckle clasp. Now, with that bronze, I think that it would be cool if instead of having the watch entirely BB blasted, including the pin buckle clasp, they experimented with polishing the bronze, but I don't know how this would affect the aging process, and that probably is why they don't do that. Or maybe bronze is extremely difficult to polish or something like that. I have no experience in metalworking with bronze in particular, so I wouldn't know if that is a challenge or not, but I think that would be a cool thing to experiment with. Now, moving on to a wrist shot of this piece. So as I said, it's got a 39 millimeter diameter, but it does wear slightly smaller than that, kind of partly due to the kind of thickness of the watch. It's very thin. Additionally, the strap is really thin. You don't really feel it that much on the wrist. It's extremely comfortable, but again, it doesn't really look that large. I have about a 6.5 inch wrist in circumference just for comparison purposes, so that's something you should note. But it is extremely legible with those beautiful sword hands, and I think that this watch is quite special for that reason. So if you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and share, and also check out my Kickstarter campaign and hopefully support it. Again, the rewards start at $149, or you can make a donation without a reward, but I think that you guys deserve a great watch, so you should do the reward where you end up getting a watch. So definitely check that out in the description, as well as JB Hudson's website if you want to inquire about purchasing an IWC wristwatch, or really a wristwatch in general. They have an amazing selection. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.